Alright, hey guys, it's Murderos TCG back in the video. With this video, we're bringing a Kashtira deck profile, and this is post Photon Hypernova. So let's just get started here. I run 3 copies of Unicorn. Unicorn is just incredible. You're just able to special summon it if you have no monster out. Then you can search out a spell, and then when you declare an attack or your opponent activates a monster effect, you can look at your opponent's extra deck, and if you do banish one monster from it, face down. So this lets you go into your opponent's extra deck, get rid of key cards if they even try to interact with you. Same thing with Fenrir. This is kind of staple, running 3 copies. You just want to use this because it searches out a Kashtira monster, and then this one, having it on the board is actually pretty prevalent, just because it's able to target a face-up monster your opponent controls and banish it face down. So even if you're not able to use it into an exceed monster, it's still able to do something, which is really useful. And then here we have 2 Scareclaw Kashtira. I've seen some people run 3 copies of it. I think it's too much at 3. I think 2 copies is the right amount. Being able to use this, just like banish one Kashtira or a Scareclaw card from your hand or grave, is great, because not only that, you can banish your spells or traps, and then you get a benefit if you actually do that. And then you can get the monster out. And this card can also attack while in defense position, and that's just because it's a Scareclaw monster. And the effect of any opponent's monster that battles your Kashtira, Scareclaw monsters are negated. So again, another effect that makes it a prevalent monster to have on the board, even if it's not used as an exceed material. I guess we can go through Dimension Shifter later, but 3 Kashtira Rice Heart. So Rice Heart here is great because if you control a Kashtira monster, you're able to special summon this out. So this is great because sometimes you're just not able to go into Kashtira monster through their own effect, but Rice Heart kind of goes around that. And then if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can banish one Kashtira card from your deck, and then banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck face down. And if you do, this card becomes a level 7. So the great thing about that is that obviously it's going to be able to work really well with Shangri-Ila, or Shangri-Ira, because it's able to activate its effect, but also using this to make it into a level 7 makes it so that you're actually able to exceed with it. So it's not just a dead level 4. You're obviously going to actually be able to use this as a monster. And this is also a great way, because you're able to activate Shangri-Ira, you're able to go into your Arise Heart because of that. Then we have 3 Kashtira Papayas. So this card, if you control a Kashtira monster, you're able to special summon a Kashtira monster with a different attribute in defense position. So obviously the great thing about this is that it just lets you go into your other level 7. And it's easy to search this card out. Like really, if you get one of these, you're able to search out the other, because with Fenrir you can search out Unicorn, and then from there. Or obviously you're gonna have to use a different card. So like for Unicorn, usually you're gonna use this to search out Papayas, and then from there you can go into your Fenrir. But yeah, 3 copies of that is a must. Triple Tactic Tasking. So this card is great because if your opponent, just like Triple Tactic Talents, if your opponent does anything to interact with you, or if your opponent activates a monster effect during your turn, then you're actually able to punish them by setting a normal spell or trap, and then you can actually use that card. You can use that spell during that turn because it's a normal spell. Or if your opponent controls a monster, you can add that card to your hand instead. So again, pretty good card, just being able to add it to your hand, because if you want to actually just activate it directly from your hand, that's great too. But 3 copies of this is really great to have, especially if you're planning on going second. Speaking of which, Dark Ruler no more. If you're going second, this is going to be a great way to break boards. This is kind of the great thing about the deck, is that you're able to set up a really good first turn board, but you're also able to break boards pretty easily. Just because there's a lot of cards here that you can use, like even the 3-dimension shifter. If you use that during your opponent's turn, it's going to be really effective. And Terraforming, because the field spell is really good, so you want to search that out. 3 Pot of Prosperity, because you want to search out the specific cards in the deck that just lets you go into your combo pieces, like the field spell, because the field spell is not searchable. Then 3 Kashtira Birth. This lets you normal summon level 7 monsters without tributing. So that's great, because if you have this card, being able to just normal summon these level 7 monsters without tributing is great, just because obviously you get to avoid like not having a method of special summoning it. You can use up your normal summon for that, and usually you're gonna have an extra normal summon because Rise Heart is able to just special summon itself out. And yeah, this card is really great too. If your opponent activates a spell card or effect and you control a Kashtira monster, you can target 3 cards in your opponent's grave and banish them face down. Obviously, you can get if they interact with their grave a lot, this is going to punish them heavily, and it's just like a side effect here. Here's the field spell. I have a 1-card combo that I'm going to be showing you guys. I already have like 2 or 3 combos lined up for this deck that I'm going to be showing shortly after I finished the deck profile. But yeah, when this card is activated, you can just add a Kashtira monster from your deck to your hand. And then the main thing is that, well, that's the main effect. And then if Kashtira Shangri-Ira you control activates the effect, you can target one card in the field, destroy it. And because you're able to activate this effect multiple times, you're actually able to destroy a good amount of cards on the field if you do it while you're going second. Then we can go into the actual hand traps. So 3 Imperm, generic, just monster negate, obviously. 3 Ash Blob, just the most generic hand trap to have. It's always going to be really good. Dimension Shifter is just really annoying. This card is, any deck that can play it just does so much damage. You can see why this deck is going to be so powerful, just because the deck benefits from banishing things in the grave, and using this is going to help a lot. And then here we have Kashtira Big Bang. So this card is great. You only need 1 copy because the main reason you're going to be using it is just for Rise Heart to banish it in order to activate its effect, so that you can add a Kashtira monster you own. And a Kashtira monster that's attached to your Exceed monster, you can add it to your hand and special summon it, which is great. But then when you get it back, you're actually able, when you get this trap card in your hand, you're actually able to use it to kind of clear the board, because if a Kashtira Exceed monster is in the field, you can make both players banish monsters from their field face down, so they can only control 1, which is extremely oppressive. And I have a combo that's going to show you how to use both of the effects of this card, which is going to come up really soon. Alright guys, before I go to the extra deck, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to check out the Patreon description down below. But let's just get started here. So Bear in the Floor, it's possible to get this out. Are you going to do it? Not a lot, but it is possible, since you have the Ash Blossom as a tuner, and then you have a bunch of level 7. So being able to get right in the floor, if you're desperate enough, then you can go for it. Zeus, because you're going to be summoning XEs most of the time, so obviously you want to have Zeus here. 2 Kashtira Rise Heart. This card is really good. It's a Macrocosmos for your deck, and you just need 2 copies mainly. That's all you're going to really need. You're not going to be summoning more than that. But because you're going to be playing against Kashtira a lot, and they're able to banish cards from your extra deck, it's going to be quite powerful. And we might see like these numbers go up just to kind of go against that. But yeah. And then 1 Red Ice Flare Metal Dragon, because this is a good card to set up just to be inflicting 500 damage to your opponent every time they try to play. Diablosis, the Mind Hacker, works really well for this card. It synergizes super well with the Shangri-Ira, which I'm going to show in a combo. But basically, you can attach a material like your opponent's extra deck and banish a card from it, a monster from it face down. And then, yeah, if a card your opponent owns and possesses banish face down when you control this card, you can banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck equal to their face down banish cards. So again, being able to banish more cards for banishing. So you get a lot out of it. Harmonizer can just be annoying as a rank 7 for them to get rid of, just because it becomes kind of indestructible once you start taking their monsters and use it as material. Draco Sack is just a classic rank 7 here. Powerful card that you're not going to be summoning a lot, but when you do, it's going to be decent. Big Eye, just take something. Titanic Moth, if you just want to attack directly and that's going to be your way of finishing them, then that works. 2 Kashtira Shangri-Ira. So this card is really good because during each standby phase, you're able to special summon a Kashtira monster from your deck. But the main thing you're going to be doing is that each time your card your opponent owns and possesses banished face down, you can choose 1 unused main monster zone or spell and trap zone, and it cannot be used while this card is on the field. And then every time this card would be destroyed, you can just detach a material from it instead. So this card's really oppressive. You're going to see in the combo how you're going to be able to just block 3 cards, 3 zones, 3 monster zones, or 3 spell. You're probably going to want to block the 3 monster zones because that's going to make it a lot more difficult for them to actually play. Because you have a lot of level 7s. Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. This card's really good. You're not going to be summoning it out a lot, but it's a good boss monster to have here. And then because we're going to be seeing a lot of Earth, just because this archetype is going to be high up there, also is going to be pretty good just to steal that and work with it. And here with the side deck are cards that I considered but didn't end up running. Here we have Terraliment's Kashtira. I don't think this card is worth running even at 1. I think it's good, but I get that a lot of people just want to run this just to have the name there, but I don't think it's necessary to run. Second copy of Diablosis, I can see that being worth it, just because your opponent, like we're going to start seeing here that people are going to be interacting with the extra deck a lot and banishing opponent's extra deck, so running an extra copy might be useful there. Triple Tactic Talents, if you're going to go get more invested in going second, this might be really good to run in some level. But obviously you run in the danger that it's just going to become, like if you end up going first, this can clutter up your hand too much. One Necro Valley, same thing as like just so you can kind of go straight into your Macrocosmos effect through the Kashtira Rise Heart. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the deck profile. What do you guys think about the deck? I think this deck is going to be extremely powerful. It looks like it's going to be doing really well. I can see why this is going to be one of the best decks after Photon Hypernova. But let me know what you guys think, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.